Chinese takeaway style curry. So I'm cooking chicken curry, so I need to get that into the oven. I like to cook the chicken separately during this meal, and then you can share it with vegetarians. And you don't have to worry about cooking the chicken first, you can get on with it. So I pop the chicken thighs into the tray. You can use drumsticks, and I'm just going to spray some olive oil on. You can pour the olive oil on if you like, but I like to use the spray. And then I'm going to pop that into the preheated oven at 180 for 30 minutes. It's tempting to overcook the chicken, but don't overcook it because it goes dry. You're not going to kill anybody on 30 minutes. Okay, so now let's heat up some oil. I'm going to start on a level 5 just to get it warm. And then I'll turn it down to a 3. So first off, putting in the garlic clove. Crushed, and now I'm going to just chop that into little pieces. You don't want to overpower this dish with garlic, so the little one is fine. Don't want the papery bits. Okay, garlic, and then the fresh ginger. So just peel off the skin. And then I suppose you can use ground ginger in this, but I didn't want to. I've only ever used it fresh, and it smells really nice. So grate some of this in. Probably about 1.5 teaspoons worth. Smells absolutely delicious. So just rub that away on the grater. Splash it in. I'm just going to check the video's working. Next I'm going to add the chilli. So I'm using a big green chilli, and I'm just chopping this into big pieces. Almost looks like jalapenos, but it's so, when I share this dish with the children, I can pick the chilli out before serving it to them. They don't want to have big lumps, but I want some heat in there. So we've got the garlic, the fresh ginger and the chilli. Next, the onion. This is quite a big onion I've got, but it's the only one I have in the cupboard, so it will have to do. So this is the same for vegetarian, vegan or chicken curry. I'll just do this the same order. Right, I'm going to use my serrated knife for chopping. Don't cut the onion in too big a chunks, but you don't really need to worry. The bigger the pieces, the slower it is to cook. And also, who wants big bits of onion? I don't know, you might. If you want big bits of onion, add big bits of onion. Okay. Now I'm going to turn that down to 3, because it's nice and hot. So chop the onion. And then add that to the dish. Give it a mix. Next I'll add the carrot. So I really like carrot in a Chinese curry. So I added 2 once and it just didn't work. It was completely overpowered by the carrot. So don't be tempted to add too much carrot. Now you want to slice these quite thin, or they don't cook properly and they'll be really hard. And I can't bear fashionable vegetables, so they're basically raw. If you like yours like that, then you know, chop away into big chunks, but I prefer mine to be cooked. So fairly thin slices. And just make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom of your pan. I love this frying pan. You could use a casserole dish, but I love this frying pan, but it is really old now. It's about 10 years old, and therefore things stick to the bottom. So if that happens, which is happening, just pour a little bit of your chicken stock into the bottom. There we are, and that should stop things sticking. Next I'm adding the broccoli, so you just want the florets, the ends really, and you don't need a huge amount of broccoli. So just the trees. Break those up. Mix it up. Okay, now if you are adding other veg, add this now. I'm not going to put these in because I've got plenty in there, and I'm going to add the chicken. But now is the time to add your mushrooms, which I would cut into quarters and add, and then I'd just bung these in whole. Okay, once they're all in, time to add your spices. So first off, we want a teaspoon of curry powder. Now this is a half teaspoon, so I need to do 2 of these. And be generous with them. So sprinkle those round. Lovely. And the same with the turmeric. Oh, it smells nice. Oh. And then 2 of the star anise. They're never whole, it's really annoying. I'm going to do 2 in a bit. Okay, to mix that up. So try and get a good covering around the vegetables of all those spices. So nothing difficult so far, it's all been nice and easy, and there's nothing difficult to come. Now add the stock. So if you're doing vegetable only, this will be vegetable stock, but as I'm doing chicken, it's chicken stock. Okay, and then your tablespoon of dark brown sugar, generous tablespoon, and sprinkle it round. It will go into lumps, but don't worry, it will dissolve. And like I said, I've tried this without sugar and it's disgusting. So, sorry about that, naughty. And there. So I'll turn that right down to number 2, and I will leave this to simmer away until the chicken has finished cooking in the oven. And it's probably going to be a bit hot, but I want to take the skin off. Oh, that's lovely and cooked. So you're meant to poke something in and check the juices run clear. Yes, I've heard it before, but I've never seen juices run clear, so I guess they're too clear for me to see. Let's just take the skin off, and then I'm going to stand them on the side to cool off. I don't want to burn my fingers. And I'll give those chicken skins to the dog. She'll enjoy those. Just move that out of harm's way. Okay. So I'm just going to peel off the chicken skin now, or the chicken, and add it to the dish. You're sure that you've got all of the chicken off of the bone. Check that you haven't got any bones or pieces in there, nasty gristly bits, and then add that to your pot or your pan. And mix it in. Okay, now give that a really good stir around because the meat hasn't had very long to take on the flavours of this. So you want to give this another 5 minutes at least of sitting in, soaking in the flavour. Just going to get rid of this, we don't want to look at it. And the last thing we need to do is add the corn flour. So this is a thickening agent and it's really important to this dish. So take your corn flour in your jug and you want 2 tablespoons, 2 heaped tablespoons of corn flour, and then 4 tablespoons of water. So it's 2 tablespoons of water to every 1 tablespoon of corn flour. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then mix that up. So mix it up in the jug. I'm just using the same jug that I have the chicken stock in. And then pour that into the pan. It will change the colour slightly so it will look more like a takeaway colour. And stir that in. And this just thickens up the mix. Trust me, you're going to love this. So this is bubbling away now and that's just got really thick. Absolutely delicious. So you need to have let this got really thick and then it's ready to eat. I mean, this is absolutely perfect now. If you want to add peas, add them now. It's ready. Handful of peas I prepared earlier. And for children, I would now pop this into a blender. Take out the whole chilli, take out the star anise, blend it if they don't like lumps. I'm talking babies and very young toddlers. And add the peas after. Perfect. Mwah. Made 2 adult meals and 4 toddler and baby meals all together. I've just blended this up, added some peas, that's for very young babies and toddlers, and this one I've just added the fresh peas after.